Hi everyone, I've put together the following quick guide around managing suspense on the TAL Adviser Centre to hopefully give you a quick overview of some of the key areas to look, some of the easy ways to access information and action requirements, and hopefully give you a bit more information around working with TAL and getting applications through on the suspense side of things. So please have a look, share with anyone in your practice who is managing suspense or working on suspense. If you do need some additional assistance, more than happy to help. Please reach out via my calendar link, and there is a time you can book in there specifically around training on the Adviser Centre or a suspense run through as well, and more than happy to provide some additional support. So you've just logged into the TAL Adviser Centre, and there's a few different ways that you can access and manage suspense. So as a starting point, when you first logged in here, you'll notice there's a bit of a dashboard or timeline here in the middle of the screen. That activity timeline will give you a number of updates around applications that have been submitted, that have gone in force, so on and so forth. If there's actionable items such as requirements or policies that are ready to go in force and whatnot, those will show up here in the actionable items tab, and clicking through on the item will take you to that relevant policy or quote or application, so that you can gather more information or access it. Secondly, you can come up the top here where you'll notice there's a bit of a dashboard which has access to proposals, renewals, overdue, etc. We'll probably focus on these two areas here, proposals and tele-interviews. So clicking on that will take us through to applications that are sitting in tele-interview stage. That could be an opportunity to follow up around whether the client is booked in, whether they've had difficulty arranging a time with the client to have that completed, and stop those applications sitting there for longer than they need to. And then the proposals. So this is a list of policies that are in proposal state that you can then access more information on and go into further. The simplest way to access all of the information around your suspense is via this proposal requirements summary tab over here on the left-hand side, third one down. Probably the easiest way to get a high-level overview of everything that you've currently got in suspense. You'll see here it'll give you a bit of a summary of clients, policy number, requirements, and comments, which you can expand out. And then a status, so whether they're actioned or whether they're outstanding, so that you know exactly where you're up to with each case. And that all displays on this one page here. So it's very easy to see all of the clients in one go and work your way through. You can also print and pop that into a PDF if you wanted to share that with someone else in your team, provide that to someone in the team as an action item or whatnot for follow-up. Very easy to print that off and share that around. If you had some actionable items that you wanted to access for a client, you simply click on the policy number, which will take you through to the client, and from there you can access the requirements via this button here, the requirements, notes and documents, which will then have either open or closed requirements that have already been actioned. If these requirements were open and still requiring a response, down the bottom here where it has the option for attachments is where you can either attach a note if you're responding to a requirement just via text, providing some instruction from yourself, or a document if there's a specific questionnaire or form that's required for you to be completed. You can easily attach it through here. The benefit of this from an efficiency point of view is that it goes directly into workflow on the policy and is immediately attached and through to underwriting on new business. So you do save some time and potentially help drive some further efficiency there in the process for yourself. If you do have the need to access any forms and documents, so if there's requirements raised for a specific form, you can access that here via the search tab. Simply change that from clients to forms and documents, and then you can start typing that in. You can even filter it to specific questionnaires. So that would be something such as underwriting questionnaires, and it will simply bring up all of the underwriting questionnaires and help you look for a specific one. Otherwise, you can do simply a keyword search as well. And you'll see there'll be a back and neck questionnaire, for example, in this case, pop up. And that's the easiest way to access those forms. All of the forms are editable PDFs. So you are able to, once downloaded, type on those. And we do accept DocuSign and Adobe Signature to minimize the amount of printing that's required. And hopefully make that easier for the client to sign and return any documents. The exception to that, of course, would be a binding nomination form. If you have the requirement for that, we do require that to be wet signed and scanned and sent back. Important to note from a suspense perspective, if that is the only thing holding up your application, you are able to let us know to proceed with the application, put it in force, and that binding nomination form can be provided at any time after the fact to then validate that nomination. So rather than having that holding up the entire show, that can be a way to proceed and get things in force. If you do need to contact the team, the best way to do so is via phone on the number here. You can then have options for either new business operations or underwriting if you need to discuss a case, or via email here if you want to send any requirements or additional information to be added to an application. That accelerate service at tal.com.au email address again goes straight into the workflow and is attached to the case so that the underwriter or new business consultant can work on updating that for us. That's pretty much an overview from a high level of managing your suspense. If you do have any questions, please reach out and more than happy to assist. Otherwise, hopefully this has been a good summary for you on driving some efficiency and saving some time in managing TAL suspense.